Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah, so, okay, no, where were we? Okay, so yeah, we were like during the ceremony basically, and yeah, so we did an unplugged ceremony. Basically, at the beginning, we had the officiant kind of make an announcement that, we wanted our guests to be present and to ask them to please, not use their cell phones or take pictures or whatever during the ceremony. But we also announced that we would be, having a minute at the end of the ceremony where they would be able to take out their phones or whatever and take pictures if they wanted. And, so yeah, and that worked out really, really nicely. I was a little nervous before it happened because I wasn't sure basically at the end if people would know when it was okay to start taking pictures, but it turns out that the officiant did make a little announcement like, okay, now it's okay if you would like to, take a picture of the new couple or whatever. I forget exactly what she said, but she did, let people know, okay, now you can take pictures. So there was that. I was also a little worried that like no one would, so me and Melissa would just kind of be standing there like doofs with no one taking pictures, but thankfully there were people taking pictures. And so what we ended up doing was kind of like, we like pivoted from one side to the other basically, so we kind of did that incrementally across so that everyone could kind of get a forward facing shot if they wanted basically, and that worked out really well as well. So as soon as all those pictures were done, we recessed back down the aisle and the ceremony was done. And so yeah, all of the everyone in the wedding kind of walked out and then met back down at a little cottage they had on the property, and everyone kind of just congregated there, and the caterer bought Melissa and I a drink, which was again really nice because it was we just got married, and so it was kind of nice to celebrate with a drink. And I had a champagne, I believe Melissa had a bourbon ginger, and yeah, so everyone met in that little cottage and we kind of chilled out for maybe 5 minutes while we got everyone kind of congregated. I was able to sit down, which was really nice because I hadn't been able to sit down since I got my makeup done because I was like, up and in my dress and doing stuff. And so, yeah, it had been a couple hours and I was really tired, but my dress was so huge that we actually ended up putting the chair under the dress so I could sit directly on the chair, because otherwise I don't think my dress wouldn't have fit on the little chair. So we like lifted up my skirt, scooched the chair under the dress, I sat down and then kind of laid the skirt out over the top, like the backrest of the chair. This also kept my skirt of my dress from wrinkling, since we still hadn't taken the formal pictures and I didn't want to like sit on the fabric and have it get wrinkled. So yeah, that's a nice little bridal hack again if you're planning your own wedding. Okay, so yeah, we hung out there for a minute and then we were brought out to the front lawn with the photographer to start the formal pictures. And these are the, family pictures, bridal party pictures, just basically the posed pictures of the day, me and Melissa with her parents, me and Melissa with my parents, me and Melissa with our grandparents, me and Melissa with, what I mean? Just kind of everyone with everyone, and kind of, so the photographer definitely had a system. And so she was I basically stood stationary because it was a pain to move me with my giant dress. So I basically was, put somewhere, and the photographer kind of, arranged my dress so it looked nice, and people would kind of like scoot in and out from around me and we would take pictures that way. And yeah, that took a really long time, but I'm really, obviously you need to have all those pictures, so you have pictures with everyone and, all the different combinations and stuff, and it was really nice, and I'm so excited to see all the pictures. I hope they really turned out. Yeah, so we did all that, and as people were finished, we kind of did it, I think I've mentioned this again before, kind of, dismissing people as they're done. So we did the flower girls first so they could go inside. Then we did all the pictures that needed the grandparents so that they could go inside. And then, so it ended up with just me, Melissa, and then our bridal parties out front. And we took all those people up onto the patio and started preparing for the announcement. And so we had everyone bustle my dress, which it took like everyone. I think my mom showed everyone how to do a bustle. There was 5 bustle points, and so they were all kind of back there at one time pulling out the little things and tying on whatever you tie on. And yeah, so we did that. We pulled out my veil because I didn't want my veil in for the first dance and father-daughter dance. And so yeah, and just kind of got everything all ready, and then we were announced and went in. And the announcement part was really, really fun. Just basically walking in, having 100 or so people cheering and clapping, and you just got married, and it's just you and your spouse, your new spouse, and it is a lot of fun. It's really exciting, and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, but yeah, I really, really liked that part. So we basically got announced in through the front door, and then people were kind of lining all the way to the room on the left where we set up the dance room. So we kind of, walked through this huge, line of people into the, again, the conservatory, which was the dance room, with people lined all around there. And yeah, so we walked in, Melissa kind of like spun me around in a circle, and then she twirled me. Sorry, that was my dryer. And then we went into our first dance, and it was, again, I feel like I keep saying this about every single, like, moment, but it was just a really nice moment, just kind of, again, centering us together, and yeah, just dancing. And I love our first dance song. It was, I still don't even know the name of it. I think it's Tenerife by Ed Sheeran, something like that. Melissa picked it out, and I absolutely love it. It's like, it was the most amazing song. I loved it for our first dance. And so, yeah, we did our first dance, and then I did my father-daughter with my dad, and we did that to, shoot, I just had it in my head, now I can't think about it. I can't think of it. Wonderful World by, alright, now my mind is really going like, whew. Wonderful World, I can't say that, by Louis Armstrong. That was my father-daughter dance. So yeah, we did that. And then after that, Melissa and I immediately led everyone into the reception for dinner. So that's when I really started to fade. I was really, we had been, I had been standing, like I said, for hours before the ceremony, during the ceremony, and then I got to sit down for like 2 minutes, and then we were standing for at least an hour. I think it was more like an hour and a half. I don't know. It was definitely longer than an hour of formal portraits, and then standing for, waiting to be announced into the reception, and then dancing, for 2 dances. I was exhausted. My dress was really tight, it's strapless, and so it was like restricting my rib cage, and I was just kind of like, I was really starting to need a break. And definitely, I've been told, a couple of people definitely noticed. So Melissa and I went to our sweetheart table, and we're able to sit down, and it was really nice. We were, served by the caterers, so we didn't need to go through the buffet line, so they kept bringing us food, but honestly, my dress was way too tight to be able to eat. I couldn't have eaten anything. Like, I had zero appetite, because it was just squeezing me, and like, I basically just needed to breathe. Like, I couldn't expand my rib cage, I couldn't breathe, and people like my mom, my grandmother, and my mother-in-law all have said to me separately, like, yeah, I kind of just kept seeing you, and you were kind of turning a bit white. And, I know my mom, Melissa's mom, both said to Melissa, like, you need to get her out of that dress. And then, like, so at one point, my maid of honor came over and was like, so if at any point you want to just kind of go upstairs, take off the dress for 2 minutes, and just breathe, and then we can come back down, just let me know. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a really good idea. Let's go do that now. So Melissa and Maggie kind of carted me upstairs, and I basically just completely undid the entire back of my wedding dress and sat upstairs in our getting ready rooms for, it was under like 5 minutes. It was something like that. And just breathed, because I needed like oxygen. I just couldn't breathe, and I just needed to relax. The day of coordinator also brought me up a plate of food to try and eat while I wasn't in this crazy tight wedding dress, which was really nice. I, again, didn't have much appetite, which is surprising, because I was, consciously, I need to eat a lot. Otherwise, I get, like, shaky and lightheaded, and so I was trying to make sure I ate so I didn't get too, hungry, basically, throughout the night, because it was a crazy day. But, yeah, so I ate as much as I could while the dress was, unbuttoned, and then we got me kind of hooked back in, and then I headed back downstairs, and that, like, 2 minutes out of the dress was just great for the rest of the night, and so it was so helpful. I'm so happy I did that. And yeah, we went back down to dinner, and I believe that's when we went right into toasts. We either went right into toasts, or we went back outside for a couple more pictures with the photographer of just me and Melissa. I actually kind of want to say that we went outside for more pictures first. So I came downstairs after taking a break from the dress. We went outside with the photographer, and we got more pictures kind of down in like the formal gardens area. There's a lot of like stone hardscaping and stuff like that, and we got some pictures with that. And then we came back inside, sat back down at dinner, and did the champagne toasts. My dad gave a toast, then Melissa's parents gave a toast, then my maid of honor gave a toast, and then Melissa's groomsman Steve gave a toast. All of them were phenomenal. I mean, they were just, all of those speeches were amazing, and I am so excited again to kind of get our wedding video and hear the speeches and relive those, you know, emotions and just rehear them. So I'm really excited about that. They were all absolutely amazing. Okay, so I think I did forget actually, after we took pictures outside, right before heading back into toasts, my day of coordinator, like, saved my life, because after taking off the, you know, back of the dress for a minute to breathe and put it back on, like, I was a little better, but I could tell that it was gonna, you know, kind of continue throughout the night, kind of, you know, I would have had to take more breaks. But she ended up suggesting that I basically unhook the internal, because like I've explained before, there's basically a giant, like, you know, this thick or something bra strap that you first put on, then you zip it up, and then you button it up. And so she basically, with my dress still completely zipped and buttoned up, she kind of reached down the back, unhooked that, like, seatbelt bra strap thing on the inside, and, like, scooched it to the side so it was no longer pulling me, and that made all the difference. My dress still felt completely secure because, like, the zipper and the buttons were tight enough to keep it, like, completely held up for the rest of the night, which I was worried about, but I wore it like that for, you know, hours for the rest of the night, and it was fine. I had zero problems with it, but it felt so much better. So if you have a strapless dress like that and you are starting to, you know, feel like it's too tight throughout the night, try unhooking that internal bra and leave it, you know, just with the zipper and see if that helps. So yeah, that was amazing. So yeah, went back inside, had toasts. Immediately after the toasts, we did the cake cutting because, again, the night started getting pushed a little back, I think because the pictures just took a little longer. So we went right from toasts into the cake cutting, and the cake cutting was also really fun. We ended up cutting a piece that was a little bit too small. I think we cut a piece like that was like that skinny or something, so we couldn't get the cake server in there to pull out the cake. So Melissa kind of had to, like, go in with her finger and, like, pry out the piece of cake, and so that was a little bit of a I don't know, not a disaster obviously, but it was just kind of funny because it just, you know, little small things like that just happen at a wedding, and it's just kind of funny, and yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. I basically ended up tripping walking out of the ceremony back up the stairs because I had to walk downstairs as I was walking, you know, up the aisle, but walking back down the aisle to leave the ceremony, you had to walk up the stairs, and walking up the stairs was very hard in a giant dress. And I was trying, like, that was still, like, early on in the evening, so I was trying not to just, like, you know, take big handfuls of the skirt and lift it all the way up. I was trying to, you know, keep it looking like I was just gliding like a bride, and I tried to keep it down, and it just, my dress was not having stairs with that. And so, like, I was stepping on the crinoline, and I, like, totally, like, stepped forward, and I had to, like, take a minute and, like, pull up my dress, and it was a disaster. But again, I wasn't too worried about it. Like, I mean, who really cares? Like, it's all your friends and family, and so I just had to, like, take a minute and try and get as much skirt kind of in my hands as I could and pull it up so I could get up the stairs, and it was, Melissa was trying to help me. It was kind of a spectacle, and it was kind of funny. But yeah, I'm excited to see that on the video. I hope they include a little bit of that. But yeah, so back to cake cutting. After the cake was cut, Melissa and I, again, we had cupcakes that we actually used to, like, feed each other since Melissa's gluten-free. So she had a gluten-free cupcake, I had a regular cupcake. Both were decorated like the regular cake. So we did cut the regular cake, but then we ate the cupcakes. So yeah, we picked up our cupcakes and kind of, like, you know, fed them to each other. And we weren't really intending on doing, like, you know, the whole face smush things. Again, like, I had my makeup done, I don't know, we weren't going to, or I wasn't going to. Melissa wanted to do the face smush thing, but we ended up kind of doing it anyways because it's really, really hard to feed someone a cupcake or, you know, piece of cake or whatever while you're also trying to take a bite of one. And so yeah, it ended up on both our noses, all over the chins, and yeah, so that was really fun. After the cake cutting, we were able to make it into the dance room. I believe that's when we were able to dance, and just literally, like, nothing was, you know, scheduled. We weren't, like, doing anything officially. We could kind of finally just, you know, dance and enjoy the wedding and hang out and, you know, get a little energy out. And it was a lot of fun. So yeah, we did get to dance at that point, and then we were taken back outside, I think at that point, to do some sunset pictures. So Melissa had wanted some silhouetted pictures kind of against the backdrop, like with the mansion kind of in the background. And we saw a couple sneak peeks of those on her camera. Like, she showed us how they were looking, and they looked really, really cool. And we did, like, a nice cool dip. You know, like, Melissa dipped me with the, you know, silhouetted style. And so yeah, I'm really excited to see how those turn out as well. Then we went back inside. I think that's kind of all the things that we had done, so the rest of the night we could kind of just hang out. We did want to get individual pictures with each side of our families, so we ended up doing those on the main staircase of the mansion. So like, you know, my mom's whole side of family, like aunts, uncles, cousins, my dad's whole side of things, aunts, uncles, cousins, Melissa's whole, you know, like, and so individually it kind of ended up taking forever because, again, you know, corralling big groups of people, it takes some time to get everyone, you know, in the frame and then lined up right so you can see everyone's head and getting everyone paying attention. And so we had to do that quite a number of times to get each family done, but we finally got it all done, which was really, I'm excited that we have those pictures. And yeah, so there's that. We are really getting towards the end of the wedding day at this point. We were originally only going to have the photographer and videographer till 9 p.m., but it hit 9 p.m. and basically, like, since things had gotten pushed back so far, we were basically going to have open dancing from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., but things got pushed back so far that we had just finished, like, you know, all the formal, you know, picture taking at 9 p.m., and the videographer wouldn't have basically had any footage of, like, you know, just people kind of dancing and partying and enjoying things, and we still hadn't done some of the family pictures, so we ended up asking them to stay longer, which I'm really happy we did, and it was totally worth it, and it didn't actually end up being too much more money. Like, at first she was like, oh, I can stay longer if you want, but it'll cost more. I was like, oh yeah, no way in heck, that's gonna be, you know, like $500, but it actually wasn't crazy, and so I'm really happy that it was reasonable and we were able to keep them for the full time, and so we didn't, you know, have to forego any of the memories being preserved because of that. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. And yeah, after that, wedding ended around 10. People kind of hung out for a little bit after the music stopped, but, you know, vendors started cleaning up and all sorts of stuff like that, and we were, you know, just, you know, everyone was talking and hanging out and, you know, slowly leaving. Obviously there was no real rush to leave. But yeah, people started going back upstairs to pull down all of our stuff from, like, the getting ready rooms. I never made it back up there, but Melissa said it looked like a bomb went off in all the rooms. Like, there was just stuff everywhere. And I can only imagine from the pandemonium that was getting ready to see what the rooms looked like. And yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, so I basically at the end of the night kind of just collapsed in a chair. I kind of just, like, sat myself there and let people kind of come to me to talk to me if they wanted, because I was just, I mean, I'd been walking around in heels all day. I'd been carting around a gigantic dress, which Melissa finally picked up at the end of the day after I'd taken it off, and she was like, oh my god, I had no idea how heavy it was. Like, my dress was heavy. It was big and it was heavy and I was in heels, but the heels actually were not a problem. I am, like, if anyone is kind of on the fence about getting Bagdlamiskas, or however you say them, shoes for your wedding, I would say 100% go for it. Yes, they're pricey. Yes, they're extremely pricey. However, in my humble opinion, I think that that price tag is more than worth it, because I wore those shoes all day long with no issues, not a single blister, and honestly, I didn't break the heels in at all. I kept meaning to. I basically wore them maybe twice at the apartment for 10 minutes maybe, and then at each of my 3 dress fittings, I, you know, put them on for, again, maybe 10 minutes at a time, and that was it. Those shoes were, all intents and purposes, brand new. They were not broken in, and they were able to be worn all day long. I mean, yes, my feet kind of hurt, like the balls started feeling sore just because I'd been walking around on them all day, but I had no blisters. There was no real, like, pain of wearing, you know, like, oh my god, I can't walk in these heels. So by far so worth the money, and I'm so happy that I splurged on those, because that just, yeah, that was great. So that's my little experience with that. But yeah, so anyways, while everyone was kind of, you know, packing things up and getting things thrown in the car, I was kind of just relaxing and, you know, talking to my guests, because, again, I didn't really get to talk to people as much as I would have wanted, because I was just running around, you know, doing stuff the entire time, like, you know, taking pictures and cake cutting and toasts and stuff, so I didn't get to really talk to a lot of my guests, and I wanted to see everyone, so I was able to kind of talk to a couple more people during that time, which was really, really nice. And yeah, so after that, we shoved me in my giant dress into Melissa's little tiny Jetta, and went back to the hotel, where everyone kind of started congregating in the hotel bar. And so honestly, I had thought that I was just gonna kind of completely collapse after the wedding, especially considering how tired I was the night before. I thought I was just gonna be, like, over and done, but I must have gotten a second wind or something, because we got to the hotel and we got into our room. I changed into the little white lacy dress that I'd been wearing to all my bridal showers and those things, And I kept my shoes on, which again shows how freaking amazing they are, that I wore them all day long, and then given the opportunity, didn't even take them off at the end of the wedding to go, back hang out with people. I kept them on, which also I am really glad, because then I could kind of like show them off, because they are, my pretty wedding shoes, but they were under a giant wedding dress all day. So I was really excited that I could kind of, go back out and show them off because they're pretty. But yeah, so went back downstairs after we changed, and yeah, so everyone was kind of in the hotel bar. We just hung out for a little bit, had some champagne, or I did at least, and then we closed down that bar. And again, instead of going back up and going to bed, we went out to the bar around the corner. So like, this was just the longest day of my life, and I have no idea how I managed to do it, but like, I don't know, I kind of want to give myself a pat on the back, because I was a champ, and I just like, we ended up closing down that second bar too. Like, how crazy is that? You guys know, I don't really do that. Like, I am a homebody. I don't like, go out and party all day long and all night long, but like, somehow I made it through, and it was so much fun, because again, we had all sorts of family from out of town, and at this point it pretty much was all family, because I don't think none of our friends like had decided to spend the night at the hotel near the venue. They just all went home, because everyone lives close enough, and most people have dogs, and so everyone just went home. So yeah, at this point it was kind of just mostly family, and again, it was really nice because there was a lot of family from out of town, so we really got to actually hang out with people, because like I said, we didn't really get to do that a whole bunch at the actual wedding. So it was really nice to just be able to hang out with everyone, and yeah, it was awesome. It was a whole lot of fun, and we got to eat a ton of french fries at the bar around the corner, because like I said, I didn't really eat all day, and so I kind of scarfed down a bunch of french fries, which was amazing. And yeah, so stayed out until closing time, or like the bar closed. Finally went back to the hotel. Melissa and I went back up to our hotel room, and then at that point we still didn't even go to bed, because we'd kind of been, bopping around separately, talking to a bunch of different people, and hadn't really had a chance to, hang out with each other, and we wanted to, hang out with each other on our wedding night. And so, yeah, I mean, I put my bride robe back on, we got all comfy, and just kind of like sat on the bed and decompressed. Melissa helped me get all the bobby pins out of my hair. I took all the, all the makeup off my face, and just, we just relaxed and kind of, relived the day and talked about, all the exciting moments, and relived our favorite memories. And, it was the perfect way to end our wedding day. And we eventually, obviously passed out. I think by the time we went to bed, it was like 3:30 or 4 in the morning, which is unbelievable. Again, I don't know how I did that. And yeah, so we just completely passed out, and yeah, that was our wedding day. It was, I can say without a doubt, the best day of my life. It was everything. While pretty much nothing went according to plan, it just, I don't think I could have planned it to be more perfect. Everything looked perfect and amazing. Everything was perfect and amazing. There was no disaster or emergency throughout the day that was like extremely stressful. Like, while it was, kind of, like, I don't know, while it was stressful throughout the day, at no point was I actually like, oh my god, my wedding is ruined. And was I actually, I wasn't ever like sad or like actually just stressed. I was happy and excited and loving, the experience of the stressful wedding morning, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it was an amazing day, and oh my god, I would give anything to relive it again, stress and all. But yeah, I can't wait to get our videos and pictures back. I'm so excited, and I think it's going to be a while, but yeah, I think I am going to try and kind of insert pictures that I have accumulated from the day throughout this video, because especially Melissa's one groomsman, Steve, was so amazing. He was taking pictures throughout the whole day, and kind of while it was happening, I was like, Steve, why are you doing this? Like, we have a photographer, like, whatever. But I was, I mean, if he wants to, go for it. But I'm so glad he did, because I'm not going to be able to see those, photographer pictures for months. And so I obviously want pictures to, share on Facebook, and to kind of, look at myself and, share with you guys. And I have all of those pictures. He took a ton of, like, I mean, obviously he wasn't there while I was getting ready, but I have some from, Melissa getting ready, and then from, I think he took some from our first look of, like, Melissa standing there waiting for me, and he took, some while everyone was taking formal pictures, so I have kind of sneak peeks of how those turned out. So yeah, I am really grateful for that. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much all for the wedding day. Finally, again, I'm so sorry this video is going to be like insanely long, and I'm probably going to split it into 2, maybe even 3 parts, depending on how long it is. But then again, I haven't posted a vlog in like over a week, so I feel like you guys won't mind that. So yeah, Yeah, I think I'm gonna move on to Saturday. Again, sorry, I kind of like lost my train of thought because my camera had to cool down. But yeah, so Saturday we woke up again a lot earlier than we thought we were going to, especially after falling asleep at 4. We woke up at I think like 9, so we got maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So, or no, I think we even woke up like 8:30. We woke up really early for some reason. And yeah, again, we kind of had a pretty relaxed morning, which is really nice. More relaxed than if we had woken up when we were planning on waking up, which is like 10:30, which was half hour before we thought checkout was. But yeah, so we were able to kind of, slowly wake up a little bit. Melissa went down to the like a restaurant or whatever and got us some breakfast. I had some Rice Krispie treats, and I ate a couple of her potatoes because I think she got some like eggs and stuff like that. And she also got me some fresh squeezed orange juice, which was really, really yummy. So yeah, again, I kind of just put on my bridal robe and hung out for the morning. We were slowly getting everything, put together to get packed in the car because we, again, had like a bunch of stuff that we had brought home from the wedding that day and that needed to get packed back in the car. We had my gigantic wedding dress. We had her suit, obviously. And yeah, so we, did that over the course of the morning, and then we finally made it out of the hotel room probably around 11, I want to say. Maybe even a little earlier, maybe like 10:30, I don't know, 10:30, 11. And yeah, so checked out of our room and then hung out kind of in the lobby a bit because most of Melissa's family also stayed in that hotel, and so we hung out down there talking to people for a bit while Melissa kind of like, packed up the car and stuff like that. And then we headed out of the hotel over to my parents' house because they were having a brunch that morning for all of our out-of-town relatives. And unfortunately, we did miss a couple of them. They had to, they were heading out that day and they had to get on the road, so we missed a couple of them because we got there a little later than planning. But we were able to catch a couple of them, and so we hung out, ate some really yummy brunch food, had a big old lox and stuff like that, and just kind of, I don't know, it was again really fun to hang out with everyone and talk about the wedding and kind of just have a really chill day after such a crazy day. And yeah, after that, we packed a whole bunch of stuff again into the car because my parents had also packed stuff in their car from the wedding, and we need to slowly get that all to our apartment. So we packed all the gifts and any of the getting ready stuff that they had that we hadn't put in our car, and just threw whatever we could into our car. And there definitely is more at their house that we need to pick up, which we're probably going to get today. But yeah, we packed as much as we could into the car, and then we were going to go straight to get Dakota, but we had to empty the car because we packed that thing full, and there literally wouldn't have even been room for Dakota. And that tells you something, because you guys have seen Dakota. She's like, mini little munchkin. So yeah, we went home, unloaded the car, and Melissa actually carried me over our threshold for our first time, entering the house as a married couple. We're married! I love you. I love you. Which you guys probably saw at the beginning of, if not this video, since I'm going to split them up, the beginning of the part 1 video. I think I'm going to put that there so you guys will have seen that, because we did remember to film that. So that was basically like one of the, I don't know, that was basically the only thing we vlogged over the last couple of days, but I really wanted to, catch that on camera, so I'm glad we did that. And yeah, so we quickly unloaded everything into the house from the car and then headed back out, stopped at Whole Foods to get things like coffee and some necessities that we needed. We also got some Starbucks. I got a really yummy, I think it was an Arnold Palmer. It was iced tea and lemonade, and I'm not sure if anything else was in there. And then we went and we got Dakota, and we heard all about her, evening and day. And yeah, I think she had such a great time. I think she was, you could just tell, we had also been getting pictures from Becca throughout, last night and today of, what Dakota was doing and kind of getting little updates from her. And so, yeah, Dakota had a great time. You could tell that she just felt really relaxed because she knew Becca, she knew Becca's house, she knew Fizzgig. And so, yeah, I'm, again, so thankful that she was able to stay there. So we picked her up, went back home, finally, and we're able to, sit down and relax for the first time in, months, if we're honest, but, really, a week or something like that. So, yeah, it was a long, long couple of days. So for the rest of that day, we basically just sat on the couch, we watched Friends, we watched Sing, the, animated movie, which was really, really cute. And we had our wedding leftovers for dinner because our day of coordinator was nice enough to pack up a couple of, meals worth of our wedding dinner because we didn't really get to fully enjoy it. So I'm really happy she did that because we were still able to eat that for dinner. And yeah, that was kind of our night. And so moving on to Sunday, keeping things going here, we watched Friends pretty much all day because I thought I would be recovered by Sunday. I thought we needed, Saturday to sit there and do nothing, and then, we would be recovered. I woke up Sunday still feeling totally like out of it and exhausted and like needing to be, again, like I felt hungover both Saturday and Sunday, and I drank nothing. I barely drank champagne at all at the wedding. I had like a couple sips here and there whenever someone would hand it to me, and like a little bit during the toasts, but mostly I was just guzzling as much water as I could get my hands on because I was just so exhausted and tired and thirsty. But yeah, so I still, Sunday, so 2 days after the wedding, I still woke up like with a headache and exhausted, and Melissa did too, and just like, you need some days to recover from a wedding. It was crazy. And I think Melissa actually is sick for like yesterday and today, or for like since Sunday through today, which is Tuesday. I think she has a bit of a cold. So I might have had a bit of a cold. I just have a stronger immune system. I don't get sick as often as she can. So we might have also been kind of fighting off something in the days after the wedding, but luckily we weren't sick for the wedding, and that's all that matters. But yeah, so Sunday we again had a super lazy day and just didn't really require ourselves to do much. We, on Saturday and I believe Sunday, I kind of can't remember exactly when we did this, but we kind of slowly opened our presents in, kind of chunks. We'd open, one or two here and one or two, cards, and then, wait another hour or two and then open a couple more, open some cards, and which was really fun rather than like, just ripping all of them open right away, because we kind of, were able to extend the experience, which was really nice. So yeah, and then, okay, so on Sunday, we did end up heading out because we needed to go to Target because Melissa wanted to get some NyQuil and Dayquil because, like I said, we're pretty sure she has a cold. And while we were out, we also got ourselves some ramen because Melissa was really craving some ramen, and it also, I believe it's bone broth in the ramen, but either way, it's all full of all sorts of nutrients and stuff like that. And so we got that for Melissa to hopefully kind of get her, healed as quickly as possible, since we still have the honeymoon to look forward to, and we, wanted to get her better for that. But yeah, so we did that, and we were able to use some of our new gifts that we were unwrapping that day, which was really exciting. We got these adorable little footed soup bowls from actually my bridesmaid, and well, Becca was kind of both of our bridesmaids, but she was standing on my side, and so yeah, we got to use those, and with the ramen. And just, we've been using, some of our new stuff here and there over the last couple days, which is just so exciting. Like, I love everything we got, and it's really exciting. And so, all right, and I think that's all I have for Sunday. Then on to Monday, it was back to normal. Melissa went into work. She worked Monday and Tuesday of this week, and then starting tomorrow, she's off for our honeymoon. But I was able to finally edit and get up my first vlog in like a week or so. I don't even know how long it's been, but I was really happy about that, and I hope you guys are too. Again, sorry, it was just so crazy and I wasn't able to be as active over the last week with the wedding. But yeah, so I got a vlog up, and I slowly started putting stuff away, kind of getting, again, our new gifts kind of integrated into the apartment and getting put away, and just getting everything unpacked that we brought to the venue and getting things sorted, and just, the craziness. There's stuff everywhere. And again, I think I actually did film a quick little clip of stuff for, like when we first dropped off all the stuff out of the car and before we picked up Dakota, I quickly filmed a little clip, so if I haven't already inserted that, I'm going to insert that right here so you can kind of see it, but yeah. Alright, so this is the craziness of a disaster that is our apartment following the wedding.
Also, good morning.
Also, good morning. We are going to go pick up our little munchkin really quick, and then we are going to give you a super detailed, quick, awesome update for the last 3 days, because they have been so crazy and so much fun. I can't wait to share it with you guys.
Hi, guys. Hello. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, right? I'm so tired. Like, I don't think I've ever been this tired.
Guess what?
What?
You're my wife.
I'm your wife. How did that feel, Mrs. Rosner?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Amazing. Couldn't be happier.
We'll fill you in on all the details in just a minute. Okay, so that night we had chicken soup for dinner. Melissa made some chicken soup. We got like a rotisserie chicken and just cut it up, and then yeah, so we had that for dinner again to kind of help Melissa get, better quickly, hopefully. And yeah, I did a ton of laundry during the day to kind of get everything ready for the honeymoon, and that's kind of as far as I can remember. I don't really remember what else I did yesterday, but I know I felt like I was running around like a crazy person doing things because everything has just gotten put aside for this wedding, and so I was kind of trying to get everything back on track, and it felt so good to be able to focus on other things besides the wedding. Like, yeah, we're still, you know, putting things away from the wedding, but just to be able to really, you know, not have to worry about just planning the wedding, and I could, you know, do laundry and put, you know, stuff away and, you know, clean a little bit, and yeah, so I was really enjoying that yesterday. I've also been enjoying that today. I have already washed a ton of dishes because those were really piling up, especially like some of the gifts that we got that needed to be hand washed before we could put them away. Those were starting to really pile up on the counter, and they were just getting, you know, I mean, pushed to the side because that's not necessary to do, but they were just, you know, taking up space, and so I got to do some of that today. And just, yeah, again, I'm just doing my best to kind of get things back on track. I am filming this gigantic vlog, if that's even what you call it, for you guys today, so I'm getting that out of the way so I can start vlogging regularly tomorrow. And yeah, so that's pretty much how my day has been. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the rest of the day because I was planning on from here on out vlogging, you know, like usual. So since this ended up being so long, I think I'm actually gonna end this video here and kind of start with the next clip as its own, you know, the beginning of the video, so that it's not tacked on to the end of these, you know, 2 or 3 part, you know, story time videos. And yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. So yeah, I think I'm going to end this here, and I hope you enjoyed this massive recap of my wedding week, and I hope you are as excited as I am about our wedding. I have already received so many congratulations from you guys, and I'm just, I love you guys so much, and you were just so sweet. You leave the nicest comments, and I'm just so grateful to have all of you so excited about our wedding, and I literally cannot wait to share all the pictures and videos and stuff from the day with you. Like I said, I'll try and insert a couple over top of this video here, but I won't be getting my professional pictures back for quite some time, but I will be sharing all of those with you when I do. Yeah, so again, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I will see you guys in today's vlog. So, good night, I guess? I don't know. Goodbye? Thanks for watching this long video. Bye, guys.